All right, so today is wow, Newt, is sort of a big deal. Banana can fly now. Perhaps not well, but we left the nest all by ourselves. I came in and they were like, "Oh, maybe I'll do some out time." And they did not wait for me to offer the bowl. They just jumped. Pretty graceful landing, honestly. Hey, kiddo, you want to come over? Hi, Banana. Hi, Banana. Anybody want to come sit? Huh? Unfortunately for Banana, this means it's sort of an appropriate time to start being hazed. And there's not much I can do about it unless Banana comes to me for protection. You know, if Banana's in my lap, that is a no-fight zone. You know, nobody's allowed to attack kiddos in my lap. But we're gonna probably have to figure that out ourselves. You know, we turned 4 weeks tomorrow. Hi, Newt. God, you're fluffy. Hi, Newt. I candled the Newt's still doing his daddy duties, by the way. He's how come you slip sometimes, but not all the time? Like right now, you're very slippy. Hi, Banana. Plum. Newt knows that's a treat noise, so when I make that noise, he tends to look at me. I candled the lucerne eggs last night. If you didn't see the video, they are both developing well. Internally, they look just as good as these two did on the same day of incubation. The cracks in the eggs do not seem to have gotten worse. But my brush on super glue comes tomorrow. And when it does, I will be applying that to the problem areas, just in case, you know, those cracks deepen. What are you doing? Hi. But you know, I saw both embryos moving and I caught it on camera, so that was very cool. What are you doing? You just checking out your kid's new plumage? Huh? Hi, Taco. This is a great opportunity to check the nest. Excuse me. Oh, you're already there? Excuse me, I would like to check underneath you. Hi. Hi, let me see. Let me see. Oh, there's a second eggie. There's a second eggie. Great. I'm glad to see that the singleton was indeed a one-time problem due to the clouds hormonal problems from spring and from the additional grit that you know, gave him a big old jump of energy he was not used to. Plum, look, if you go this way and this way, then you can leave. You can go down. See? Plum. See? You see this? If you come to my lap first, you can go down there. and you can go here. I think we are thinking too much about Daddy perhaps feeding us. We've been on the floor. We know there's a seat down there. Come on, down here. You don't have to jump. You can go the better way if you're not ready for it. Come on, kiddo. Hi, Newt. Hi, buddy. How's Daddy Newt? How's Daddy Newt? Hi, kiddo. Look. See? All right, go the slippery way. That's up to you. Are we gonna jump? Oh, there we go. It's like, hey, your feet are fluffy. Does your kiddo have fluffy feet? You gave them to them. Why are you trying to eat what your kid's eating? Are we just eating together? Is Daddy doing his daddy field trip duties? Do you want to come over here, Banana? Huh? You want to come over? The hanging out doesn't have to be just inside. It can be in here too. Even if you do poop on me, I'll forgive you. You're turning into quite the pretty bird. So we gotta practice those flying movements. Look at you go. Look at that kiddo go. Are you going to be as eager for inside time today as we were yesterday? Yesterday we pretty much got right in the carrier to take us inside. Plum is peeping while they feed themselves. Hi, Taco. Hi, Taco. What are you doing, sweetheart? Getting some food while your husband sits on the eggs? It's very pleasing news because we have at least one person waiting for a tippler hen. Depending on how the kids turn out, we have somebody who may want to take a spare bird, and someone local to me is interested in getting a hen for their bird who recently lost their spouse. And in the meantime, sort of introduced me to slightly concerning information, but honestly, I don't know if it's really going to be a problem in my loft. I really hope not. But she lost her bird because something got into her loft, and she's pretty sure it was a weasel. She's apparently she lives pretty close by, and in my area there's a sort of sprawling. I don't think it's a national park. I think it's like a state park. But it's pretty expansive, and it's sort of scattered. Like it's like the same. I'll just say park. It's like the same park, but it's got like bits and bobs sort of separated all over the place, and the person who's lost their hen to what was probably a weasel is right up against a big section of that park, and has apparently seen 2 minks and a fucking fisher, which is really wild. I had no idea that fishers were even anywhere near Maryland, let alone somewhat local to me. And my dad, you know, who's a biologist, he looked up the fisher dispersal map, and apparently they have made a slight comeback in areas of Maryland. It's actually particularly in western Maryland, so not really my part of Maryland, but you know, there certainly are wildlife corridors around, and you know, the odd dispersal is certainly possible. So yeah, it's crazy to think that, you know, within a certain distance of here, there could be a fisher wandering around. Though I don't think a fisher would be able to get through a half gauge, 1/2 inch hardware cloth, but a mink might. But she did say that she does not think the problem was the hardware cloth, but the roof, which was which apparently in places was not properly secured all the way. So that's how she thinks it got in. And you know, she's gonna be fixing that, obviously, but you know, that's after hearing what happened to a bird on one of the Discord servers in Europe with an area of a significant weasel population. I mean, this poor bird was somehow grabbed through the hardware cloth. It must have been very close to the wire, and very, you know, unfortunately, and see, you didn't have to start that, Taco. Very unfortunately, the poor bird was had a leg completely ripped off. He's all right. He survived. You gonna come up? Vet intervention, you know, did save him. Apparently he was found the next morning, like you know, in a resting area, and basically probably the reason he survived was he was sitting so that he was putting pressure on the place where his leg used to be. So he didn't just bleed out before he was found. And apparently he's adjusting pretty well. But you know, whatever got to him, like, just completely removed the entire leg through the cloth. Like, the full leg, like, into his body. Like, the mechanisms that would hold the leg are apparently gone, which is insane. And a really good reason, I think, if you live in a high weasel population area, to be really careful about how you build your loft and go for the smallest gauge possible in hardware cloth, which would be 1/4 inch. It's a little harder to find than 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is safe for pretty much everything else. Almost nothing can get through 1/2 inch. You know, it's just not, I mean, that's not a size that a lot of things can fit through. You know? I mean, not even like most snakes could get through there, and I think the ones that are small enough to fit would not be big enough to do any bird of any significant size any harm. Like even I could see like a baby corn snake getting through here, but that's not even gonna hurt us like a 1-day-old Peep, you know? It can't swallow that. Are you playing with sticks? So, you know, I think we're pretty safe. I mean, we are near a branch of that park. But not the same branch that I think this woman lives nearby. And we you know, we've never seen any signs of, you know, weasels or fishers, for God's sake. You know, like we pretty much know what's in the area just because of you know, the tracks in the snow. I mean, we see fox tracks, and you know, we've seen actual foxes. Banana, look, you can go down here. See? And you know, we see their tracks in the snow. We see cat tracks. You know, we see squirrel tracks and all that. But certainly never weasel tracks. So if there is a weasel population nearby, it is not coming by with any sort of regularity. And honestly, I think we're probably just far enough away from the park that oh, did you just fly? You flew up there. Wow. Great job. Great job, kiddo. And honestly, I do think that we're in a probably pretty good situation in terms of where the loft is built to deter a wild animal from coming up near the loft. You know, built on the deck and all that. I mean, that really I think discourages the local predators. Even the local cat, who is definitely not a feral, by the way. Somebody is letting that cat out. You know, we'll go for months without seeing the cat. Usually during the winter, the cat's not out. But you know, it's not very thin. It's actually a little chubby, and it's not really scared of people. It just doesn't want to be approached. But it's not intimidated by being shooed. It's only intimidated by being walked towards, which I think is probably pretty normal for a cat that's not extremely friendly, and also an outdoor cat. You know, like it's just it's a cat that trusts certain people and only hangs out with certain people. Who is pecking my forehead? Who is pecking my forehead? It must be Taco, because I think Cloud's on the nest, and I see Newt's tail up there, and Storm's below me. Yeah, it was Taco. Are you a silly bird? Ugh. Come here. Can you come up? You see, I've taught the kids pretty well that patting means like, hey, pay attention to this. You know, it's perhaps important information for you, or it's something I'd like you to do or think about doing. But I've never really had the chance to consistently teach that to my mature birds. But after seeing how well it works with these two, I'm gonna be continuing it with each consecutive clutch, because I think that's probably a good starting place to give new adopters. There's a feather in the water bowl. Let me get that out. And give them a signal that the birds already know, and it's really easy to do. That lets you draw your bird's attention to an object, or give them a cue that you would like them to perhaps try going somewhere. What are you doing with that? I brought in some more hay and some more sticks because I noticed that even though Newt and Storm are pretty well into their second clutch. I mean, we're on day 10 now, so only 8 to go. Hold on, little babies. I'll seal those cracks up. Hold on. He's still bringing material in to add to the nest, so I figured, bringing in a bunch of sticks and a bunch of hay and giving them to the birds was not a bad idea. I mostly handed it like into their actual nest boxes. After Newt's sort of recent wandering into nest boxes that are definitely not his and are definitely someone else's, like, they are unclaimed. Sorry, they are claimed. But he's still going in them to pick out sticks. I've decided to stop leaving the sticks like in the boxes for them to go find. I'll leave them on the table here, and I'll stick them in their nest boxes. And I did scatter a few here on the floor, like in the indoor part of the loft, so that like if it rains, they're not gonna get completely soaked. And not so many that like it'll be difficult to clean up the stuff that they don't want. So hopefully that'll curb his habit of going places he should not go. But yeah, that's what's going on. Let's see. I would say the tippler nest probably will be ready to hatch in maybe 17 days. 17 or 18. Considering that the tipplers tend to sit a little early on their first egg. And honestly, I gotta say, the Lucerne kind of do too. So I generally sort of take a day off in my calculations, and I just have like a couple of days range. Hi, Taco. Hi, sweetie. I'm not reaching for you. I'm just saying hi. Yeah. What are those kids doing? Who are they? So, basically, like, I think, cause the last kids, the Lucernes, these babies, those babies, they hatched a day earlier than than the 18-day prediction from the second egg, you know? They were well in sync, and you know, they really did kind of surprise me. I went out to check that day just in case the kids had hatched early, and I was like, oh my god, they did hatch early. So you know, that was a big surprise. So I think it may be possible with just the way that these parents are sitting on their eggs, that it may not be a whole 18 days before babies arrive. Maybe like 17 and a half or something, you know? Like, maybe they're just, I mean, they're not laying at 12 a.m. at the beginning of the day, you know? They're laying at some time during the day that I don't necessarily know when. And, you know, they basically start incubating within a day of that first egg being laid. And when the second egg is laid, they're still incubating. And somehow that second egg catches up or something. I mean, I suspect Plum was probably the second baby just because we are smaller and we always have been. We've always been a little bit behind Banana. Even though we were born on the same day. I mean, we were born just a little smaller. I mean, it's not just like a thing that happened over time. It wasn't just like the babies were born the exact same size, and were fed just a little differently, which resulted in growth over time. I think it was that was just how they naturally started. They just naturally, you know, they were born at the same exact time, as far as I can tell. But the baby that I think ended up you know, being named Banana, I believe was the very slightly larger one. You know, they were pretty hard to tell apart that first day. There was like very small difference in their beak ring, but so little it was almost impossible to differentiate, and so small that Malefics thought they were going to look exactly the same. Obviously that is not what turned out happening. You know, these kids are definitely different looking, and you know, over time, you know, that ring on Banana's beak lightened, and you know, it lightened on Plum too, but not to the same extent. Obviously, neither of them really have that ring anymore. You know, they're just not that age. But yeah, it's the baby process is interesting. Gotta give you that. What are you doing? You just looking at them? You looking at your kids? Huh? Are you looking at that? Are you looking at that hay stuff? Look at this. Hey, I don't want to scare you. I'm gonna reach my hand underneath you, but you're not looking at me. See? Yeah. See, if I had done that, yeah, and you hadn't saw me, you would have been horrified. Nobody's gonna get it back there. There we go. I'm excited for indoor time today. I'm hoping we are as keen to spend some time, even if it does take us a while to decide to do that. Once again, you know, I plan on having them inside for a few hours. I mean, they've reached that age where I think they can start to figure out how to take care of themselves for a bit. You know, it's not a big deal to keep them away from daddy. I mean they've been self-feeding for like a week, but I've never seen them drink anything, so I think most of their hydration they're getting from daddy. Though I think that will probably change very soon because you know, we can leave the nest when we want to now. Hi, Taco. Do you want to come on my lap? I think it's funny when they jump up there and then there's no coming up. They just hop back down. What are you doing, Storm? Are you programmed to think that bowls may have seeds in them because you or your husband may have birthed them onto your kids and they may have fallen into the bowl? You are a shockingly food-motivated bird. Hi, Taco. What's up? Good lord. Good lord. Can I come up? Huh? Huh? Come up. Something no. Is that you? Yeah, it's funny. The girls will have short moments with the mirror where they're like, "Huh, I think it's me. Interesting." But the boys have a little more of a vanity problem. Cloud is obviously the worst, but I have seen Newt down here doing some quick displays for the mirror, along with some preening, during which he pauses very often to look at himself. It's the kind of like preening that birds tend to do, or at least, you know, pigeons. Again, when I say birds, I'm often talking just about pigeons. It's that pigeons tend to do during courtship. So like, you know, that like display preening they do at each other, where it's like quick, jerky little movements, and you know, they like lift their head up to look at their target during that time. What are the kids doing? Huh? I spent some time before it came out getting baby place ready. Now that I know that they are willing to hang out near me, I've made them a small transportation system around my desk and a platform next to my my computer chair. That's the one. Next to my computer chair, which is about as high as my headrest now, because I feel like Plum was up there yesterday because oh, look at them, they're being so sweet, because they wanted to be high up, and I would prefer if the high up was not shooting poop down my back the whole time, you know, if possible. Hey, can I put my hand in the bowl to hang out with you? Huh? Can I put my hand in the bowl? Huh? Just to hang out? Huh? I just want to chill with you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good little baby. Yeah, you're very sweet. You're very good. Oh, there's a lot of beaking going on. Is there a lot of beaking happening? Oh, is there a lot of beaking happening? Is that good? Is that good? A bit of a headache. When we go inside, I'm gonna transfer the kids upstairs and then go grab some. headache medication. How's the headache? Who's on my head? Who is that? It's Taco. Are you a cute baby? Storm is obviously fussing with her nest because there's a lot of rustling and some hay did fall down. Oh, thanks for the poop, Tycho. Glad the dog's still appreciated. What's going on up there? What are you doing to Banana's tail? I'm glad we felt ready to just leave the nest today. That was fun. Very cool. Very, very nifty. Oh, so squinty. What's going on here? You know, that's the tucking it in the box, not super useful. She's like, this whole place is my nest, and the whole place has to be covered in hay. Never mind if the babies won't be out of the nest until at least 3 weeks. Are you on those eggs? Oop, I saw one. There's one right there. Be careful with it. I'm really glad that we had this insulation available to pad the nests with. I think it may be why the eggs didn't look any worse last night. And you know, certainly looked much different to Taco's singleton compromised egg at the same day of candling. You know, there was obviously something wrong with that egg pretty quickly, and you know, day 9 of candling there was absolutely no movement. Not like last night. I mean, I saw both those embryos really squirming about, which is why I could catch it on camera because it was visible enough. It's really cool seeing the embryos moving. Day 7, you're basically just checking to make sure it's alive and fertile, or you know, fertile and alive. It's probably the more base way of doing it, the foundation way of doing it. But you know, day 9, it's like it. You know, you don't really have to check past then, and you're not really encouraged to. And candling past day 15 is a really a complete no-no. You can throw the baby out of hatching position and mess it up just by handling it after day 15. It may be day 15 onwards is like the no-no time. not just like after day 15. And you know, there's definitely you know, a good chance that if an egg is developing well on day 9, that it's gonna keep doing well until the eggs are ready to hatch. You know, especially assuming with this one's that they do not become too compromised and lose moisture. But again, the damage does not seem to be getting worse, though I will be sealing them tomorrow just in case. Obviously not the whole egg, just the parts that are damaged. So I'm gonna have to come out here, I think, at night and do a quick candling to see where the problem spots are, because they're really hard to see in the light. I'm gonna have to keep them out, I assume, for a couple minutes. I don't know how quickly super glue dries, especially in a very thin film. I'll have to read the packaging, but I certainly don't want to accidentally put a still wet glue egg under one of my birds. I think that may end up ending unfortunately. I don't want to pull anybody's feathers out, and I think getting stuck to an egg is probably not good for the egg either. So yeah, I'm gonna try to think through how to do that safely. But yeah, at this point, Taco's egg had lost a significant amount of the moisture it was supposed to have, and thus looked very, very funky. I mean, it was weirdly segmented, even though there were still some veins left. And these kids were, you know, again, moving vigorously, and also there was no strange segments, you know, besides the visible air pocket, which is supposed to be there. So I think so far we are okay. Well, it's been about 40 minutes, and everyone's sort of doing their own thing. And I'd like to spend inside time and also get Advil. So I'm gonna transfer the kids inside. And are you about to come out right as I'm thinking of bringing you inside? Hmm? Did you bring some hay to your wife? You good husband? You're indecisive. I have a headache, and your heavy body is not really helping. Alright. So, thanks for watching. If anybody does something cool when I bring them back out, I will film that. But otherwise, this is it for today on Loft Time. So thank you for watching.